Hello students, this is Dr. Johnson. So let's talk about independent and dependent variables. In the assignment, you guys were supposed to identify, create a research problem and then identify the independent and dependent variables. So a lot of you had a few problems doing this, so let's talk about it. So what is independent and dependent variable? First, any study must have, any scientific experiment, there are two kinds of variable, right? You have the independent variable, you have the dependent variable. The independent variable is exactly what it sounds like. It's a variable that stands alone and it's not changed by any other variable you're trying to measure. So for example, someone's age might be an independent variable. Other factors such as what they eat, how much they go to school, how much television they watch, aren't going to change that person's age, right? And then you have dependent variable. So just like independent variable, the dependent variable is exactly what it sounds like. It is something that depends on other factors. So for example, a test score could be a dependent variable because it could change depending on several factors such as how much you studied, how much sleep did you get before the night you take the exam, or even how hungry you are when you took the exam. Okay, so independent, it's important to be able to identify which one is which in an experiment and the difference between them. So the independent and dependent variable. So when you're looking for some kind of relationship between variable, you're trying to see if the independent variable causes some kind of change in the other variables or dependent variables. Usually when you're looking for a relationship between two things, you're trying to find out what makes the dependent variable change the way it does. Many people have trouble remembering which one is independent variable and which one is the dependent variable. So the easy way to remember it is to just put the names of the variable you're using in the sentence, like uh, independent A causes this. So age of my population causes uh, be, behavior of these people. So that way, put it in a sentence you can understand. Um, they, the, the example I gave you guys in the last slide, so if you said the time I spent studying will cause a change in my test score. So you see how you can easily by that you can say, well, my test score will cause a change in my test. I'm studying. Well, you can actually, but just put it that way so that way you'll be able to remember it. So the variables that cause, influence, and affect the outcomes of the dependent variable. The dependent variables are now the outcomes and the results that you want, um, that influences, that results with the influence of the independent variable. Okay, so let's go over a few some of those three examples. So does water help plant to grow best? So your independent variable is the type of liquid, right? We can add vinegar, we can use water, we can use gasoline, and then the dependent variable is how when we add vinegar or water or gasoline, which one help the plant to grow? So the plant is our dependent variable, and then what we do to it is our independent variable. The second example is what kind of teaching helps kids learn? So if the independent variable is the type of instruction that we're now giving kids, do we give them reading? Do we give them lecture? Do we do video? Do we do lab? If we do all, according to all these instruction, does it help the score of the child? So we're comparing when we do reading, does the score go up? When we do lecture, does the score go up? When we do video, does the score go up? And when we do lab, does the score go up? So you see that your independent variable is the type of teaching. Okay, so the dependent variable will be the score of the child. For example 3, does the form of sugar affect how quickly it dissolves? So the independent variable is the type of sugar. Is it granulated sugar? Is it powdered sugar? Is it cubed sugar? Right? So By adding water to granulated, we're measuring the time in seconds that it takes it to dissolve. And then we'll add water in the powdered, and then we're checking the time it takes it to dissolve. And then we're adding water in the cube, and the same thing. So our dependent variable is how long it took that form of sugar to dissolve. Okay, so that's it with variable. I hope this explanation helps.